going to join me now, my international panel. James Morrow, Corey Bernardi. I'm giving you good and due notice that you're going to be on your toes because I want to whip around a few things. Corey, I'll start with you. The meeting tomorrow between our Prime Minister and the Prime Minister from the Solomon Islands. We know China is working them hard. We know China's working the media hard and selling in a pretty dodgy line about countries like Australia and a pro-China line. Can Albanese, the Prime Minister, Albanese, turn it around?
I'm not sure that he can. What I would expect is the Solomon Islands Prime Minister is going to go there, say, we've got China in hand, but you should give us more money. The more money will help us to stave off the communist threat. It's a begging thing. They act like children because that's what they want, just more in their own pocket, Peter.
Yeah, that corruption that Corey references there is rife in a lot of these Pacific Island countries. James Morrow, talk about Russia's secretive nuclear division entering or heading towards the Ukraine border by train heightens all this rumour we're hearing that Russia is serious about the threats we heard from Putin a couple of weeks ago. Are you concerned?
Yeah, Peter, actually, I am really concerned. And I've been saying since the beginning of the West's pushback against Russia that no one has thought through an endgame to this whole conflict. Do people really think that Vladimir Putin will say, oh, well, you know, you guys bested me on the battlefield, I'll just pull back behind those borders? I don't think so. I think we need to be very concerned about his next steps of escalation. And yet what I'm seeing from so many people who have been, you know, saying, well, you know, we just have to keep going with this, is that there's no alternative. And so therefore we're putting, you know, huge numbers of lives, treasure, everything else at risk of a potential nuclear conflict. I think we need to step back and think, what is the end game here?
And reports too, officials in Kyiv have been handing out potassium iodine pills. This is in relation to potential radiation sickness if and when the nuclear bomb literally goes off. Corey, this on again, off again sort of bromance with Elon Musk and Twitter, a corporate bromance. 44 million is the latest amount there on the table in US dollars. A billion, 44 billion take over Twitter. Is it going to happen or are they just dancing around again?
Oh, there's a bit of a dance going, Peter, because I think Elon Musk had some legal news that he's got to proceed with it. This offer does have a couple of caveats. It's subject to finance and subject to something else. So there is a get out of jail clause. But you know what? If he buys Twitter and stops banning conservative voices, then that's a step forward for communication as far as I'm concerned, Peter.
Hey, here. Let's go to Birmingham if we can, James Morrow. The Tory party conference, it happens every year, as does the Labor one, unlike the parties in Australia. This time, obviously, it's in Birmingham. Let's get off the tax issue, put that to one side, the humiliating backflip. I was really interested in Suella Braverman. She's the new Home Secretary there in Britain, the equivalent of our Home Affairs Minister. She said something that caught my attention. Have a listen.
I would love to be having a front page of the Telegraph with a plane taking off to Rwanda. That's my dream. That's my dream. It's
when will
that
happen?
So, James, she says she's serious about making this Rwandan asylum seeker deal a practical reality. What do you make of it?
Well, look, I think it's a great idea in theory. I mean, getting people all the way to Rwanda is pretty difficult, especially given the numbers that you're dealing with coming across from Britain. It's obviously modeled on the Australian plan. But, you know, if they went to water over the tax issue because of a bit of media criticism and criticism from the banks, you know, everybody on the left and in the media and the progressive establishment hates this refugee plan. They'll do the exact same thing, and I bet they'll fold.
Corey, you were there when the Howard government did it. You were there when the Abbott government did it. It really just comes down to political will, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You've just got to be immune to the criticism, which you know is going to come, and the people will celebrate it. They always have. They want safe and secure borders, because if you're not in control of your borders, then you're not in control of your destiny as a nation. And that's what the UK needs to learn, the left over there, just as Australia has, Peter.